Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. This is a holiday week, and I'm not talking about Thanksgiving. This is Ohio State week. It is a national holiday for Michigan and Ohio State fans. So this is going to be my pregame show. I only have a few comments to make. I'm going to pin the link to the chat so you guys can come up, whoever comes through. And we'll talk about what's going to happen on Sunday. So I'll get to it after the introduction. Let's go blue, the Ohio State edition. J.R. Morris, thank you for being the first one in. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Let's go blue. All right, everyone, welcome back to Big Discussions 76 Sports. My name is Dr. Anwar Yusuf Dunbar. Hey, J.R. Morris knows who I am. For those of you who don't know, I am a Michigan alum, and so I've been watching this rivalry up close and personal since 1999, the end of the Lloyd Carr era, through to the Jim Tressel era, to the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke eras, to the Coach Harbaugh eras, to the Urban Meyer, Ryan Day era. So I've been watching this thing throughout the years. I watched the drought. I watched what was our last win in Ohio, where Drew Henson led the team, and up until J.J. McCarthy won in Ohio in 2022. So I've seen this entire thing. Yeah, J.R. Morris, good question. Yeah, I made the drive. I made the drive to upstate New York. I'm in Buffalo right now. I'm in my mother's house. If you notice, my digs are a little bit different here. This is actually my brother's old bedroom. But I'm here in upstate New York. So I made the drive, and that's in part why I am on about 2 hours later. I'm sorry, 2 hours later than when I normally go on. So see, Marmar's there. All right. So let's get this party started. I know he has a lot to say. J.R. Morris, if you want to come up, Keegan, if he comes through, Maniac, Dom, anybody, if anybody wants to come through and put your 2 cents in on the game, I'll pin the link to the chat. Since Marmar's here, we'll start with this, and then we'll get a Ryan Day in, because as I was thinking about this, Ryan Day and Sharon Moore have become like peas and carrots. They become like kissing cousins, Sharon and Ryan Day.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is continue to look at what you're doing, how you're doing. I thought we did a good job of putting people in position, moving guys around, but we got to continue to do that. Continue to challenge the O-line, continue to challenge everybody in the rooms. It's not just one position, right? It's everybody. So we'll all do it together and fix it.
Sharon's blue jacket. And then a word from Ryan. One Ryan Day.
Well, every year we have the same expectation. And the first goal is to beat the team up north and win the rivalry game, and that didn't happen. And so, we had to sit on that for a calendar year, and that's not good. We don't want to have to go through that again.
The Dom father is here. Guys, I felt a little bad for Ryan after last year's game. The fight was going on. He was standing there dumbfounded watching Jack Sawyer grab that guy and yell at him, and the fight broke out. And I felt a little bad for Ryan, but it's kind of what he gets for saying he'd hang 100 points on our team 5 years ago. All right, let me get into it here. Dom, that was from I think that was from 2021 to 2022. So from the K80 year to the JJ years. So really quickly. So the game was on Saturday. I'm gonna be fast, guys. Yeah, it was 2022, Dom. I'm gonna be fast, guys. So The Wolverines are hosting Ohio on Saturday. So the game is at noon at the Big House. Okay. Marmar is going to be in attendance. Dre Ellerby, shout out to Dre Ellerby. If he's out there, he's going to the game. So a bunch of guys are going to the game. I'll be watching the game at the Buffalo Wild Wings on Niagara Falls Boulevard here in upstate New York. But the game is taking place at noon in 2 days, 14 hours, and 52 minutes. All right. So that's that. So my predictions on the game, I'm not going to give a score. I don't like doing that. I think it's going to. I think was this on Dennis's show or was it on Sam Webb's show? Someone gave the Mike Tyson analogy, and I gave the same analogy over on X. I think it's going to come down to the style of the fight. I think that if Ohio shoots out early and gets up by 21 points or 28 points, and we don't have anything, I think then we'll be behind, and then I think that will. Michigan will be fighting to get back into the game. But I think that if Michigan can, and this is why having Jordan Marshall healthy, Bryson Kudzall has played well the last 2 weeks. If Jordan is healthy, I think that changes the complexion of the game. He's a physical running back. He can break them off, but he's physical. He's he doesn't go down. He falls forward. And I think he is the ideal running back to play against an Ohio State team like this. You put together long drives. Julian Sayin and the offense are on the sideline, okay, and you bludgeon their defense, okay. And the other thing is, if you have that running game going, then Bryce is not looking at all of the trickeration by Matt Patricia's defense. Dennis Fithian, he did criticize Matt Patricia when he was here, but Matt Patricia, his MO is designing confusing coverages for quarterbacks, and Bryce is a freshman. So I think that we don't want the game entirely on his shoulders. So I think Jordan Marshall, Bryson Kudzall, and that offensive line, I think they are going to be the X factor. I think once you get that running game going, now you can. Yeah, now Bryce is a little more comfortable tossing the ball around to Andrew Marsh, Donovan McCulley, and the tight ends. But I don't want the game entirely on Bryce's shoulders. Now, on the other side of the ball, Vance Bedford said something interesting, which is that we obviously don't have the two horses in the middle that we had last year, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. But he said the strength of our line is on the edges. So Derek Moore and TJ Guy, and they're going to play a huge role in getting pressure on Julian Sayin. Vance mentioned something about, and I can't do it justice the way he does, playing the quarters, fitting the runs, and also forcing Jeremiah and Colonel Tate, not giving up the slants, but forcing them to the outside for the fades. So I think the strength of our defense is those two edges. And is Ernest Hausman going to play? Okay, that's going to be a big thing. Obviously, we want Ernest Hausman to play. But if Ernest Hausman doesn't play, then Vance was of the opinion that you bring Jay Sean Barham back into the linebacking core. But also he recommended just turning Jay Sean Barham loose in this game. So I think getting pressure on Julian Sayin, flushing him out, making him run for his life a little bit, I think that's going to be key for the defense. I hope Wink doesn't get blitz happy in this game, because I think Sayin is smart enough to throw to those parts of the field that are vacated. So yeah, I think getting pressure on him is going to be critical, and also no dumb penalties. No, there probably will be some pass interference calls from those young guys in the backfield, but yeah, they have to minimize the dumb errors, because in a game like this, against an opponent like this, you really can't afford to give away giveaway yardage like that. All right, let's take a quick look at Ohio's schedule. Then I'll pin the link to the chat. You guys can come up. But one of the word on the street is that Ohio hasn't really played a physical team like us. They've had a soft schedule, and this will be their first time really being tested, which is the other intriguing thing about this game. Because again, it's going to come down to the fighting style. Is it going to be a quick knockout, like one of the Tyson fights when Tyson was in his prime, or is it going to be a Tyson Holyfield where you know he has to fight the entire 12 rounds and gradually gets worn down by the end? Hold on, Marmar, I got you, man. I got you. Ohio State schedule. And now I promise I'm going to pin the link to the chat. Ohio State schedule. Ohio State has played Okay, so they beat Texas in their opening game. Okay, and I think if Arch Manning was accurate in that game, this could have gone very, very differently. But they beat Texas 14-7. So Texas just needed another touchdown and a field goal to beat Ohio in that game. They demolished Grambling. Okay, they beat Ohio, the Ohio Bobcats, pretty handily. They defeated Washington 24-6. Marmar stated if I watched that game, I agreed with Marmar's assessment. Washington was able to move the ball in between the 20s, but when they got into the red area, they just couldn't score. They demolished Minnesota 42-3. They got challenged by Illinois. This might have been the most they've gotten challenged all season. Luke Altmaier, that Illinois team, was pretty balanced, but they couldn't get it done. They defeated Illinois 34-16. They shut out Wisconsin 34-0. They overpowered Penn State. Penn State's they've had a tumultuous season. They're rebuilding now. Drew Aller was out. They defeated Penn State 38-14. They defeated Purdue 34-10. We struggled with Purdue, but there were unforced errors in that game. They demolished UCLA 48-10, and then they demolished Rutgers 42-9. So I agree that Ohio State really hasn't had to fight for one this season, and I think that if Michigan plays for the most part a smart, error-free, physical game, then Ohio can be beaten. So the link is there. I'm going to pin it. If any of you guys want to come up and say what you think. I've got my drink here, and I am gladly hosting. In the meantime, let's get a word from Brady, who is not a fan of Ohio.
But I was not a fan of that university in Ohio because my buddies were, so I had to be different.
All right, Marmar, let it rip.
What's up? How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So, people act like Don the Wink Martindale hasn't studied this man, Patricia. Sorry, my son was asking me a question. But they have known each other since the NFL. And like Dom said, they've been preparing for this game all year long. All year long. Sharon Moore, I've been seeing on the Rich Eisen show. And then another guy he do a show with every Wednesday or Thursday. And he sits in the office and talks with this guy, Sharon. and he reiterated that we study this game all year long. It's no days off. Like when you're recruiting the kid, first thing they come in and hear, are you here to beat Ohio State? Because that's our main goal. Not just a main goal, but they are in the way of our goals. If we beat Ohio State, everything else falls into place. And I think if we get in the playoff, we can make a run. Why I say that? Because we get Justice Haynes back. And then now it's all coming together at the right time. You wanted to come together at the right time in the before the playoffs, because that's what's gonna matter the most when it comes together in that playoff. But you got to beat Ohio State.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Dom, what say you?
How you doing, Doc?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. How's your father doing? You're home visiting your father, correct?
Well, I saw him last weekend. I'm visiting my mother for this weekend. So that my father's good. Me and my brother had to do some cleaning, but he's fine.
Good, good. That's good to hear. Your mom's doing well. Your mom's doing good as well.
Yes.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir.
Same to you, Dom. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Marmar.
You
Same to
too,
you,
brothers, and to your family.
Did you see Ryan Day's press conference?
I didn't see it. Not yet. I'll take a look after we get done.
Hey! Before you keep going on, Dom. Hey, that sports line then dropped down to 9.5 now. It's 9.5 now. Yeah,
okay,
it's 9.5.
When I looked it up, it was 10 to 11, so they dropped it.
Yeah, it was 9. It was earlier. It was 9.5.
Started out at 5.5, didn't it?
Yes, and then it went to 14, and then it dropped to 10, and then it went to 9.5.
I could just to condense Ryan Day's press conference. Please check it out and look at his facial expressions, the blood pressure in his cheek, his ears, his body movements. But that Columbus press corps, they peppered him. I mean, they just peppered him relentlessly. And I'm like, man, they're. So, Coach, did you learn anything from the game last year? What did you learn from the game last year that you're applying this year? So, Coach, what are you going to do different about this year? Coach, what are your concerns about this? And on and on and on. And you could see Ryan's face just getting perturbed. And it's just like, here comes the sweat. Here comes the pressure, my man. And this is why I hate Ryan Day. Okay? Julian Sayen's a freshman. Right? Well, we got a . Well, it's up to Julian to prepare and lead the team to victory. Not, I'm going to do my best to make sure my young man is ready to play. I'm going to put him in the best position to win the game. And no, it, quote unquote, it's up to Julian to prepare and lead this team to victory. Wow. Talk about throwing some bricks of pressure on your freshman quarterback's shoulders in Ann Arbor. I can't stand Ryan Day. I just can't stand the guy.
Okay, yeah, that's a peculiar answer for your first year, your quarterback playing in the game for the first year.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You know, that's one of the things that their title has an asterisk on it. It's tweak, it's an easy way to tweak them is that, hey, you guys didn't beat us, you guys didn't win the conference, so despite that probably saved his job, the fact that they won, but certainly I think the whole Buckeye Nation looks back at that title and said, damn, we didn't beat Michigan.
I'll quote Earl Bruce. If you don't beat Ohio State, that's a problem. Quote unquote, Earl Bruce. Probably one of my most probably my favorite Ohio State coach in regards to being an all-around good human being, a good leader, and a quality class guy. Um, so pressure, pressure. They could talk whatever they want to. We're playing with house money. We're at home, and that's why winning that game last year was so vital. It's given us a profound edge in the game that nobody's really talking about. And the spread, what's it really matter? Marmar is 23 points last year, wasn't it? The spread was 23 last year, right? So you're muted, Mar. So
It was 23, and then it's dropping. It was 14-9, but it's dropping.
it don't matter, Mar.
I know, but I'm saying it's dropping. Do Vegas know something we don't?
Well, I just look. Do you
Because
guys?
if it's dropping like that, it means something.
Do
It
you
means something.
do you guys believe in karma, or a higher power balancing the scales?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
So all this stuff with cheaters in the whole thing, the whole scandal, all that stuff, Ryan Day started it. And the private eye firm from Massachusetts was the one that reported it to the NCAA. The NCAA got on board, in my opinion, because Jim Harbaugh was an advocate for NIL. In the universities, in the television networks, in the old money at the top of the hill, let's be honest, predominantly white money, didn't want to pay the kids. That's the truth. And Harbaugh was an advocate, and they wanted to punish Michigan for the NIL coming about. That's in my opinion. But karma, it's all happening little by little. You have Barton from Buckeye Scoop for 3 years, day after day after day after day. The hammer. Well, he's going to jail. He should go to jail for what he did. You have Menace to Sports. Chris Drew could talk about what he wants. They got disconnected. His other channel got disconnected. I don't know if he's back. It's all coming about. And Ryan Day is going to get it. It's Saturday. And what happens, in my opinion, and I'll clear out, give somebody else an opportunity to speak, and thank you, is if Ryan Day loses in Ann Arbor and gets bounced early in the playoffs. I mean, they won't. I don't think Ohio State would want to play like in Oklahoma. Cignetti would love to take down Ryan Day, no fear. Oregon, there's teams who love to take down Ohio State. He gets bounced in the playoffs. I feel for Ryan Day and his family. And we could joke about it, but it's pathetic because we never did that to Jim, did we? I mean, 7 years in a row to Urban Meyer, his kids didn't need a police escort to go to school. It's sick. So Ryan Day blows it to Michigan. He gets bounced in the playoffs. That's going to get his karma. And he's got an $80 million buyout on his contract. People think I'm crazy, Chase Herbstreit stuff, this and that. How do you get rid of Ryan Day without paying his buyout? A breach of contract. And what's a breach of contract? Being involved in all that cheating stuff. I mean, that's far gone, Doc. That's kind of out there. But the way things are moving along from this cheaters, it's the scales are getting balanced. So that's what I have for you.
Okay. I thought give me a second, Keegan. I thought we're gonna hang 100 on you thing, 5 years ago. I thought that was kind of ballsy.
Yeah.
So certainly. Keegan, what say you?
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up, Dom. I don't think that like as far like I do agree that there's somewhat of a injustice issue, and our own moral justice system thinks that there's a spiritual way to make it right. And so, like, I've noticed that over the course of the years. I do disagree that it's a racial issue, but I respect that where you're coming from with that. I think it could be a part of the whole, but I don't think that like there's so many wrongs that were set right by what's happened in the past 4 years. So I'll give you that. And is that a trend moving forward? Um, I think, yeah, maybe. I do kind of believe that. So I agree with you on that. My biggest concern is um, like what kind of dance is Ryan Day going to do that's going to like provoke his team to perform well Saturday?
What kind of dance? You meaning what kind of game plan, or what kind of mental hocus
No,
pocus are you gonna?
just like coming out with a dance with the team.
Oh boy!
So that's my biggest concern is
Oh, that whistle
because
thing. Yeah, and he was jumping around.
yeah, that's my biggest concern.
Okay.
The coach, the demeanor, that all, in my opinion, when just high school, you guys play ball, your coach is tight, the team's tight. And Ryan Day, Marmar says it all the time. We want to be winning. We want to be close at halftime, because then Ohio State's realizing they're in a dogfight for the second half, and that's happened the last handful of years.
Yeah, I think it's gonna snow, man.
70%
snow.
chance. 70% chance.
And
No.
if that happens, like it's time to run the ball.
I'm getting 2021 vibes.
I'm getting like, remember that? Oh man, it was Alabama LSU. It's like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago is like 9-6 or something.
Yeah.
That's the vibes I'm getting. And like if it snows, man, it's gonna be tight. And I think Michigan's gonna win because I'm a homer, but I think this game is like literally a coin flip.
I disagree, and the reason why I disagree is that Ohio State has been on cruise control since the Texas game. Regardless of what they do in practice, how hard they work in practice, game conditions, when you're involved with close games, dog fights, not only is it the physical and the endurance challenge, it's the mental challenge. And you look at the schedule, they haven't had it. Washington start giving them a game, and then those officials, I mean, they threw like 9 penalties in the first quarter. I think that was probably the only unsportsmanlike conduct for sideline interference against Washington. Yeah, so I wonder if the officials are going to be on the team plane, Doc, flying up from Columbus.
Well, I certainly hope not, because that 2016 crew killed us.
Yes.
Yeah. But I agree, Dom. Looking at these scores, I mean, you could look at this and say, okay, well, they just overpowered everybody, but I don't think they were, aside from maybe Illinois, I don't think they were really challenged.
The other thing, you put yourself in the mindset of
Hey, Doc, they was challenged.
You said they were?
Yeah.
By who?
Washington just couldn't score.
Okay.
the thing is, Doc, you put yourself in the mindset of an 18 to 21-year-old male in college, and you're looking at the schedule. You're on your phone. You know, maybe I'll have that extra piece of cake after dinner tonight. Maybe instead of sprinting, I'm going to jog. It's just natural to become complacent. And I did see it a bit in the Rutgers game, some heavy breathing by Ohio State's defensive front. And in the second half of the game against UCLA, when they took out Smith, Ryan Day was going nuts on Julian Sayin because he was having connectivity problems with the backup receivers. I think Ryan Day, the only way they win is if they come out and they put 28 points on the board in a quarter and a half. I don't see that happening.
That's not going to happen.
That ain't going to happen. And the closer the game and the more the clock drains, the more Ryan Day sweats. So couldn't happen to a better person. Steven, what do you say, sir?
What's going on? Go Blue. Good people, go Blue.
What's going on, Steve?
What up, brother?
I'm just listening. Dom, Father, I see your wisdom and your knowledge, and I agree. This is, and 2021 sounds about right. Here's why I got a score of 34-20 Michigan. Here's why. I hear the Buckeyes fan, and not just the fans, but the pundits and the podcasters. They keep talking about wide receivers. They should know by now that it's about the trenches. If they don't understand it by now, they're not going to understand it, because you can throw all day. If you can't run, they've said nothing about the running backs. Nothing. They're more worried about Jordan Marshall than their own running back. Michigan's O-line is not going to be punked. They've been improving, all year. And I talked to Mama about this the other day. You can't even get your leading running back couldn't even get 120 yards against Rutgers. And you couldn't even get 115 against UCLA. So they have some fans who believe that they're going to come out there and a freshman running back and Donaldson are going to rush for over 160, 170 yards on Michigan. You believe that? You couldn't do it against Rutgers, but all of a sudden you're going to do it against Michigan. So I think they're going to learn a valuable lesson in toughness. When I heard Jordan Marshall's interview today about why he didn't go there, that made me like, yeah, he was taking shots at Ryan Day. Ryan Day thinks he's bigger than the program. That's basically what he's saying. Coach Moore knows he's not bigger than the program. That's why Tony Alford left. Notice how Tony Alford was a terrible running backs coach. Tony Alford was a terrible running backs coach, according to them, in Ohio. So all of a sudden he comes to Michigan. He learns how to coach running backs. He learns how to develop running backs and recruit running backs, which is weird to me because they had some good running backs. But if all they're talking about is throwing the ball, Jeremiah Smith, who was there last year and got 30 yards, then that tells me you've learned nothing. This ain't going to be Texas. This ain't going to be UCLA, not Penn State. You got to earn it in Ann Arbor. And Bryce can beat you with his legs. Whose dog can beat you? We've seen that. So they're going to learn a valuable lesson in trenches football, in toughness. Will the Buckeyes win? I don't see it. Would I be surprised if they won? I would be. I just think that Michigan, with the emergence of Andrew Marsh, with the emergence of those tight ends, because I think McCulley's going to have a big game too. I think when somebody hits them in the mouth, they're not going to know how to respond, because Sayin is not going to go out there and win the Heisman on Michigan. It's not going to happen. He's going to be here for a long day. Derek Moore will be seeing him. Derek Moore's going to see him a couple of times. I just hope that the refs call holding like they're supposed to and call offensive pass interference, because we know how Jeremiah Smith is. He'll put you off quick and then complain. So I'm trusting Michigan's offensive line and defensive line over the Buckeyes' perception of toughness, because they're not tough. We've seen Ryan Day try to look tough these last 5 weeks. You can't run on Rutgers, man. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? So 34-20, that's my score.
You know, Stephen, that's a good point you bring out about the running game, and that is why Harbaugh went back to the old school running the game, because he knew by running the football, he was going to dominate the clock and he was going to eliminate these, not getting pass interference calls and that sort of thing. Is the only way he was able to control the game and kind of limit the officials' involvement. I mean, they could throw holding flag anytime they want, but when you're getting more pass plays, I think that opens the door for other things. And I saw the interview with Jordan Marshall. He's ready to go. That kid's ready to go.
What do you think, Marmar?
You're muted, Mark.
I just think that, again, game come down to trenches. I think we tougher in the trenches. I was watching Rutgers defense. Couple defensive line. Number 99 stood out to me because he kept getting up the middle. This Rutgers we talking about. Ciano's Rutgers. Number 99 was teeing off. He just couldn't close the deal. So if he's getting up the middle like that with ease, he was doing it almost every time he was out there on the field. So if he's doing that, I think our defense will be able to capitalize on that. Somebody told, I think it was Keegan, that told me Vance, that be on Sam Webb's show. He said that our edges can have a typical game like 2021, where our edges, because they're two offensive linemen on the edges, really are suspect.
Yeah, the tackles are big and slow, is what he said.
It can listen. Like y'all said up here, Sharon Moore gets the rivalry, and they've been planning this all year. I don't want to say this like this, but who knows who helping Michigan game plan for this? Because reason why I say that, because look how I know this ain't last year, but they shut down that high powerful offense last year in their home. Wink. And then they move guys around on that defense, because that defense doesn't look the same that it did in the Northwestern game. For the Ohio State, they were moving pieces around. Wallace came on. Zeke very a dog, and I don't think people give Zeke credit. Zeke did lock down Jemiah Smith last year. He did. He only held him to 32 yards.
They
That's
bracketed
lockdown to
him.
me.
Yeah, they're going to bracket him again, I bet.
But I'm saying that Zeke held his own against that boy. Zeke held up in that game.
What do you guys think about Tate? Do you think it's a real injury, or you think it's whatever? My thought is he hasn't played in a month, right? And even if you're going to go and practice, it's not like being in the real game. Well, he hasn't played in a month. It's got to have some sort of impact on timing.
Yep.
Especially between quarterback and wide receiver, regardless of what's happening in practice. What do you guys think?
I think it's all
really
real
hurt.
injuries.
I think he's really hurt.
Bredesen's maybe sitting out. Probably not. The two receivers might be sitting out. Probably not. It's all real injuries. It's not 40 chest. It's not a game. But if somebody gets nicked up in the game, they're going to sit out.
I think with it being snowy out there, I don't think Jeremiah is close to 100%. I think he'll get one of those shots. One hit, Jeremiah's out of there. But I think Tate is. I don't think Tate's gonna play. And they can say what they want to say. It really. I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, because you're giving away your game plan. We're just gonna throw the ball. That's not gonna work against Michigan. You're not gonna go out. C.J. Stroud threw for over 340 yards 2 times. It didn't work. You're not going to go out there and just air raid Michigan. This ain't 2009 Big 12. It's not going to happen. You got to get in them trenches. If Michigan knows you're going to throw the ball, all they got to do is play Tampa 2 or a safety over the top. because your tight ends are not a threat. Stan's not going to run. So to say to Michigan fans, well, we're just going to throw it to Smith. Okay, that sounds cute, but he's got if he's double teamed, he ain't catching all those passes. It's not going to happen. You're going to end up throwing an interception because Michigan, the way they did Maryland, the way they played them, it was a lot of disguised coverages, and they had five receivers with over 300 receiving yards. The Buckeyes don't have that. I'm not saying the Maryland's a better passing team, but Maryland quarterback can throw that ball, and Michigan just like they confused the boy the whole night. So let's see Sagan be able to throw for 80%, 300 yards on Michigan. If you do that, you have more power to you and 4 touchdowns.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
you can't expect Smith to be open the whole game. It's not going to happen. He's going to try to force feed Smith, and he's going to make some. He's going to throw some interceptions somewhere, or he going to hold the ball too long, and number 8 going to see you, or number 1 going to see you, and then it's like, dang, coach, what do I do? If Ryan Day doesn't have a lead of 14 or more in the fourth, he's going to panic and lose the game. That's who he is. He is that. You've seen that the last 2 times they played Texas. The man, he looked like Raggedy Ann, man. That's how red his face was. If you show him you're not scared of him, he don't know what to do. He doesn't. And he hasn't figured out the Michigan problem. When Michigan is getting 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3, unlike everybody else that's played them this year, it's gonna be like, man, hold up. We're supposed to be number 1 in 3rd down conversion. You ain't playing nobody. Michigan's gonna run and run and run, and they're gonna force you to stop them. Cornell Tate and Jeremiah can't save you. They can't.
Hey, this could be like the game in 22 when JJ they boxed it in. They kept boxing it in. So JJ and Jim, the Michigan coaching staff just went over the top because you got to pick your poison now. Because this ain't last year where we didn't have a threat down the field. I'm not saying we got threats down the field, but we got Marsh, sometimes McCulley. Then we got the tight ends.
Yeah.
So that could play a factor in it too.
Yeah, if they try to bracket Marsh, tight ends are going to be a problem. And I think we're gonna bracket Jeremiah Smith, whether Tate's ready to go or not. Just shut him down.
J.R. Morris asked this question. He said, question for the panel. Do you guys think Wink will bracket Smith if Tate doesn't play?
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they should. I don't know what he's going to do, but yeah.
You know what? Is there a defensive back on Michigan's that has a set between his legs to say, let me try getting the superstar here by myself. And if I could take him by myself, boy, that's going to open up a lot of trouble for Ohio State. If we could have one guy like step up and stick Smith.
Well, it's like this. Like if they bracket Marsh, what's Bryce going to do? So the same thing happens with Jeremiah Smith. When you find a comfortable out that steadily produces, if you bracket that, it's a problem. So I say definitely bracket him.
Let Bryce tuck it and run. And quite honestly, I'm perturbed at like, what's Bryce going to do? He's a freshman. I'm like, excuse me, Julian saying.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that.
What about that kid?
Dom, I'm glad you brought that up. On that little thing Sharon Moore stepped down with this morning. The guy, I forget his name. Sharon Moore said, man, the last couple of days I didn't walk past to see what Bryce was doing, and he getting here till 11:30 and practicing. The other night I walked past, he in the room watching film till like 12 o'clock at night. Like he's locked in. He's locked in. He's studying their defense. He is studying their defense to see what they do. Like, oh, I see what they do here. I see what they do here. And he a bright young man, so I think he lives up to the hype. I really do.
I agree with you. And the fact is, he's had some spots this season, in my opinion, where he didn't panic, but he forced things that he shouldn't have forced. That's been corrected the past couple weeks. But at 18 years old, that kid has had the cameras on him since he was born. It's like second nature. It's like me going to the refrigerator and getting a can of pop. It's not a big deal, man. Julian saying from California playing in 70% snow, 30-degree weather. Good luck, kid.
Yep. What do you want to see out of Bryce, Doc?
I want to see Bryce. I'm sorry, Doc.
I want to see him play a mistake-free game. Be aggressive. Use his legs to hurt the Buckeyes as much as he does with his arm. So, but most of all, play a mistake-free game.
I'd like to see them early on. Please, not a bubble screen, okay? But maybe some sort of play action, slant pass, tight end, slot for like a 7-yard, 8-yard pass that could run for another 6-7 yards to get him that first like timing hit to get it going. And that's I'd really like to see them provide that opportunity early on. Then hand the ball off. Sure, I'd love to see him run the entire game, but getting him involved early, I think, will boost his confidence. We need to play with the lead, guys.
I got another question for Doc. Do you want to see Bryce keep more RPO runs this game?
You know what? I say do whatever is going to gash that Ohio defense the most. I honestly wouldn't. I would love to see Jordan punish them for most of the game. That's me personally.
Mm-hmm. I watched the 21 game. Go ahead, Mark.
I'm glad you brought that point up. So, Doc, you said you want to see Marshall punish him. What happened if we can add Kuzdo in that mixture too?
That's right.
So they're getting two different type of backs. One get yards and the other one get punishing yards. And yes, I would like to see Bryce Underwood keep it on some of them RPOs because I think that'll make Ohio State defense out of sorts if he keep it. And then another thing I have to say is about the O'Meara run. O'Meara had a run where they countered it to the left because you thought it was going right, but it went left, and he took it all the way up for about 40 yards. I was thinking about that at work. I said, man, that run play is dangerous because they used that same run against Oklahoma when they came out of halftime with Justin Haynes. And I think that'll work for perfection because Ohio State gonna do misdirection all the time, and that's what their offense is. And if they can't do that misdirection, then they don't know what else to do. They did that. They tried to do that last year, and we wasn't buying it.
What I'd like to see happen. I'm sorry.
Well, do your thing, though.
I was just going to say, what I'd like to see happen is them utilize the running game, and then go with the play action pass. And if that play action pass isn't there, the pocket's coming in, the receivers are down, they got the secondary out of the way. And if Bryce wants to pick a hole there out of the pocket and go, I'd rather see him do that than maybe an RPO. And the reason why I say that is I think he has greater protection. I think just it gives him the ability to see the flow of the game, and if it isn't there, he can make the decision to take the opening and run. But when doing that, he's going to be able to protect himself. That's why I'd rather see him do that than the RPO. That's just my thought.
So the last 4 years, one thing we've seen Michigan do, and a trick play. You just know a trick play is coming, a reverse, a double reverse, or whatever. Do y'all want? Because they haven't done it much this year. It's normally the flea flicker. But with Marsh, I think the Buckeyes don't respect Michigan's passing game. Do y'all think they can get them on a potential trick play with Marsh or McCulley, or would you like to see them do it? Because we know it's coming, and they fall for it every year. Do y'all think it would be successful if we did it? And what score would you be comfortable with them doing it?
You know, I watched the 22 game last night in the play where Flea Ficker to Mullins, who threw it. Was it Mullins that threw the ball? I believe to Loveland. That was in the fourth quarter.
Tight end, yeah. It was
Mullins pass. Is a jump pass.
It was Schoonmaker. Schoonmaker, I think.
Yeah, we've had that, and there was another one we did in that game as well, and somebody was wide open. Cornelius Johnson. No, Cornelius Johnson was wide. He had some phenomenal catches. 21, 22, 23. So great wide receiver.
And I think that can happen, and I think that's what they're gonna do in this game.
Just
McCulley
don't
is our McCulley is our Cornelius Johnson.
Just don't
And
do that.
Marsh is our Roman Wilson.
I know where you're going, Doc. I know where you're going.
Just don't do the Northwestern reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that was just, I don't know what. Dom went crazy. Dom was like, Chip Lindsey's got to go, man. I know Dom over there. Chip Lindsey, he's stuck like this guy, man. Get us somebody else. Dom. But yeah, that play was. I think they would have tried that play had it been successful. But I think, and I'm gonna give the Buckeyes props. I'll say this: your defense is good against the competition you played. But I think when they're getting punched in the mouth, when they have to stay on the field an extra 3 or 4 downs because you're not getting 3 and outs, they're gonna wear down. And not having Styles is gonna hurt them a lot because ain't no way he getting out there the way his shoulder look. Caleb Downs is an awesome athlete. Igbenogsen's gonna get called for some holes. He just said because they're gonna have Marsh on him, or him on Marsh, and Marsh gonna tear him up. But I'm interested to see how the second level of the Buckeyes play those linebackers, because Michigan has 3 tight ends that can get you, but you get Jordan Marshall in space, even Kuzdal. Like these are guys with different running styles. It's gonna be a problem when you're getting hit, and when the weather is cold like that. Them bones get brittle when you start to go down. When you're breathing hard, and when Michigan sits in a bowl, like it's a lot. This ain't, like I said, it's not August where it's 98 degrees. When you're getting hit and hit and hit, and you haven't been used to that all year, and you got to bring in second string guys who hadn't really played a lot, who don't have a lot of snaps, but they have a lot of, I guess, playing time against garbage. When they start getting hit and hit and hit, then your will is tested. Like, I think Michigan wants to make them quit, and they're going to. Jordan Marshall, the way he looked, man, I'm not saying that he's going to run for 300 yards, but this guy wants to embarrass. He loves Ohio. He wants to embarrass the Buckeyes.
Yep.
And that offensive line, Michigan has guys who want to beat them. The Buckeyes expect to win because of who they are. Michigan believes they can win because of who the Buckeyes are not.
Great point, Steve.
You know what I think the key is to victory? Ohio State has ran this slow, methodical offense all year. And Ryan Day trying to replicate Michigan's style of ball to take time off the clock. Well, what happens if Ryan Day goes down 14, 17 points and they can't play methodical ball anymore and they have to hurry up? What happens then?
Great point, Dom. They're trying to be Michigan. The only way you can beat them is to try to beat them, and they can't. They're not Michigan. You can't out tough Michigan. Like Ryan, at the end of the day, Brian Hartline gonna want to air it out. You are going to be who you are, no matter what. They do exactly what Michigan did in 2023. Just not gonna work because they're not the same.
Well, Dom, saying is an accurate passer, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how are we going to win? Is it going to be defensive pressure? Is it going to be the weather? Is it going to be the style of the game, the bracketing? This is also for Steven, bracketing Jeremiah Smith. So the defense is probably going to have to win this game for us. So, how does that play out?
You want to go first, Stephen?
Yeah, I'll go. So your question, if I'm, are you asking if the defense is going to win, or are we going to bracket Smith? Is that what you're asking?
You can take it any direction that you want, but I think that the defense is going to have to win the game.
Okay, well, I don't think they have to win the game because last year I believe the offensive special teams won the game. I believe the defense is going to make enough plays to where the offense can keep them rested, so they'll look fresher. As far as bracketing Smith, you can play Smith one-on-one, but here's the thing: you have to make saying uncomfortable. That's been something that no other team has done all year. Make saying run. If you're going to throw it to Jeremiah, okay, you're going to run about 10, 15 yards and throw it to him. Run side to side, east to west, not north to south, because he's not Michael Vick. He's not out there trying to get hit. He ain't even Ty Simpson. Make him get Jeremiah to the point where this is your only option. Number 4. If you don't get the number 4, nobody else is going to get it. So bracketing, I don't think you have to, because I'm not scared of Ennis. I'm not scared of Graham. Those guys are nobodies, but they're there. I would prefer Jeremiah get. I'm a Spurs fan in basketball. When they played the Cavaliers back in LeBron's early years, he was like, let LeBron go off. Nobody else gets anything. Right. So let Jeremiah go off. Jeremiah can't beat him by himself. He can't. So if Jeremiah gets 8, 9 catches, 120 yards, no touchdowns, but they lose by 17, well, Jeremiah got off. But what was the scoreboard? What did that say? You get what I'm saying? So don't be scared of them playing one, because they're going to have to play on one-on-one sometime. Most times they probably can't because they got 3 different receivers out there. But when it comes to 2 receivers and they go run the ball, then you bracket them because we know they can't run. They're not going to all of a sudden learn how to run on Saturday. But I don't think it's the defense. I just think you have to make saying uncomfortable, make them make mistakes, and if they do that, which they will, that'll be the key. I don't think the defense has to do a whole lot. I don't think they have to bracket them. Just make saying beat the Buckeyes is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you got to flush them out, make them run around, make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's all.
People laugh at me because I'm like, run the play clock down, run the football, but when you're in this type of game, the best defense is playing good offense and keeping the Ohio State offense on the sideline. I mean, last year, second half, not 1 first down, and their offense had the ball for 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes. And that's with Davis Warren. So and 2 interceptions. Were both those interceptions in the fourth quarter last year by Davis Warren? The one to Jack Sawyer in the end zone.
I feel like that one was earlier.
But it's a matter of moving the chains and keeping the clock moving. Playing with the lead is going to be integral. We're playing with the lead. It's on the game's now on our terms. We want to go slow. We're going to go slow. It's like you said, Doc. You just want to see him just bludgeon. Just bludgeon. It's like, we're going to run. You can't stop it. The clock's going. What are you going to do? And then you got a fresh defense coming on the field. And you have a cold Julian saying, snow, cold weather. We got to maintain the time possession and move the chains. That'd be our best defense, in my opinion.
Looks like one of you guys are here, Marmar and Dom. Saw my guys, Marmar and Dom, and had to join the chat. This is Philly BDMV.
Yeah, step up. I'll clear out. Get some new people up here. Why don't
there's room. There's room for. I got room for. What? 4 more?
Yeah, there's a couple people down there. Step in.
The link is pinned to the chat. So some Buckeye fans out there, you want to come up? We'll play nice, but there's room for more.
Yeah, I can drop out too if people want to come up.
But it's
y'all ain't got to do all that, man. Everybody come up here and cook. Yeah. That's it.
I'll go for a little bit longer.
I tell you, I watched some of Josh and Marcus's on the House Divided. And I appreciate and I respect Josh. You give him a little bit of a hard time. He gives a little bit of it back, but it's all in good fun. The guy has class. He's real about what it is. He does have some, just to like kind of jab. It's fun. It's not this hatred that some of it comes out. It's really crazy. And
Dom, you talking about Garrison and Maniac?
Bozo Tex, yeah, it's. I told Maniac, sent him a text message. You could go back in Maze's channel and find Wolverine fan crashes out from a year or two ago, where Garrison drove me absolute. I was so angry and yelling, I was probably spitting on my computer. And then after that, when I said, I get it. He likes to push buttons. If he gets me angry, he wins. He hasn't done that to me since.
Yeah.
Hey, Maniac, behave tonight.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, Garrison wasn't up there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is the thing, though. I think with Buckeyes fans, excuse me, a lot of them, they, how do I say this? So they're used to being number one, number two, number three. They act like being 11-0 this year means something. Like they weren't undefeated in 2023 or 2023. They act like it's like, well, Michigan's a fluke. And I keep hearing them talk about cheating, but Michigan's still winning without Stallions. I don't know how you defend that. But this year it seems to be more of a cockiness. Like, okay, Michigan, respect us because we're the reigning champions. You are, but you got beat last year.
Yeah.
Every time they say Michigan doesn't have this player, in 2022, we don't have Ojabo and Hutchinson anymore. But look at the guys we did have. Now we don't have Will Johnson, Grant, and Graham. Well, Johnson didn't play last year, but they got Derek Moore, they got Williams, they got Marshall, they got Bryce. So if they lose, it's going to be a civil war. That just is. I'm going to sit back and watch. It's going to be funny. But they expect Michigan to kiss the ring because they're 11-0. Congratulations,
Yep.
You're 11-0. But you're 11-0. There are 12 games. You have to show Michigan fans that your team can beat Michigan. I don't believe that they believe that they're going to win this game. I believe they want to believe they can, but deep down in Ann Arbor, they're banking on Bryce Underwood being an 18-year-old. But it's not on him to win it. His team is good enough to win it. You get what I'm saying? So they're hoping they win. If they look, man, listen, Dumb, and I say this to the whole panel. If they lose this game, they're going to want Ryan Day gone tomorrow, that next day. They're going to want him gone. I guarantee you. Forget the playoff, because they're not winning the championship this year. Because now Michigan is giving every team the blueprint. The Buckeyes, they're good, but this is how you beat them. Jeremiah Smith, whatever. This is how you do it. Last year, Michigan gave people the blueprint, but people didn't listen. But if they lose this game, this one, to an 18-year-old freshman, a guy who they said wasn't good, and to a D-line without 2 first-round picks, there are no more excuses for Ryan Day. None. You got everything you want, and you still couldn't do it. Because they're not going to win next year. Michigan's going to be too good. They're really not going to win in 2027 because Michigan's going to be elite by the time Bryce is a junior. So you got to get them. You got to get them this year. Buckeyes fans, if y'all listening, you better win this game, because if you don't, you're not going to win for a while. And that's not me being cocky. That's me looking at the tea leaves and seeing everything about, because Caleb Downs, there's no other Caleb Downs on this team. There's no more Cardinal Tates on this team after this year. And Hartline might not be there much longer. So get them now. Get Michigan now, because if you don't, it'll be another president in office before you win again.
I have a question for Mar. You're muted, Mar. My question for you, Mar, is Moore played, Barham played, Rashawn Benny. Who else on Michigan's defense played in the game last year? Hausman and Rod Moore. My understanding, Rod Moore is going to be going to play. I saw Sharon Moore say that, and I did see an interview with Bredson, boy, that kid wants to play.
He is going to play.
Yep. So tell us about the defense, Marmar. I mean, how many do you know guys that played last year in the game?
Yeah, majority of them. You got Etta. He got in the game. I seen Etta out there at the Ohio game. I seen Brand out there. I seen Benny out there. TJ Guy was out there.
Hausman. What about
Hausman
Hill?
played.
What about our
Hausman
defensive
played.
backs? Our defensive backs.
Yeah, Hill was out. Yeah, Hill was out there. They had to because we didn't have Johnson.
Oh gosh, here's the guy that really likes to hit. Name escapes me. Our defensive back.
Hillman.
Hillman. Yeah, Hillman played a little bit.
Barry played last year a little.
So these guys know what it is, you know.
Yes, they know what it is. Yes, they know. They know. They played it. They know. They understand it. It's being preached to them. It's being taught to them the whole time they walk in that. Every time they walk in that building, what are you doing to beat Ohio State? And that's always going to be implanted in their head. And that's what I think the difference is now. Harbaugh learned when. We got to thank the Harbaugh brothers for why we here today, and we 4-game against Ohio State. Is because Jimmy went to his big brother. Like, I'm a little brother, I'm going to go to my big brother for helping me to get through something major. Man, I can't get over this hump, man. What should you do? Adopt the Raven philosophy. Because when that Raven philosophy was good, who can challenge that in the NFL? Yeah, they'll lose games in here or there, but you're going to lose games in the NFL. But nobody still ain't figured out. Yes, we throw up duds against Texas, Oklahoma, USC. I think he did good in the Oregon game. I think what cost us in that Oregon game was that play by Shamaz Morgan. Yes. Again, Shamaz Morgan dinking and dunking us again.
And Michigan is battle tested, y'all. I'm not saying the Buckeye this year playing Oklahoma, USC that helped them. Like the Buckeyes are used to leads, and you see how they play when they're struggling. Michigan is battle tested. Way more battle tested. I don't think the Buckeyes are prepared for what they're going to see because, like I said, when you get hit in the mouth, it's like, oh man, what is this? Michigan will hit them right back in the mouth. And so if it's 14-14 or 17-14 with third quarter, we ain't used to this. What's going on? And that's when Michigan got them. But like I said, I think Michigan wins by 2 touchdowns, 34-20. That's my prediction. I'm sticking to it. Zavada got need 2 field goals from Zavada. That's it. Just 2. Just 2. If you listen to Dominic, my man, kick it between the uprights, gang. That's all you got to do. D.B. Brown, get him out of there anyway. Zavada, kick the ball in between the upright. 50, 40 yards, don't matter. But just please, for the love of everything on earth, or Captain Planet, kick the ball between the upright. I'm watching Stranger Things. I'm gonna drop down. I appreciate it, man. Doc, appreciate having me.
Steve, before you go,
drop down,
yes, sir.
Michigan is up 53-29 on Gonzaga right now. Basketball. Michigan out here, Michigan basketball out here looking for real.
Before you go, Steven, I did it on Maze's show the other day. Give us one of your favorite Michigan-Ohio State moments, games, that's one of your favorites over the years. Maybe we could all do that, Doc. Give one.
Okay. I'm gonna give 2011. I know it goes back far. Blake Countess. The last pass, Braxton Miller throwing the ball, and this is when they had beaten Michigan so many times straight, and I was so nervous. And Braxton threw the ball. Blake tips it over the receiver, catching interception. Brady Hoke's first year since Michigan to the Sugar Bowl at 9-2, so 10-2. That right there was probably that's the year they beat Notre Dame in the last second. So that right
we
there.
We went 11-1 that year.
No, they lost 2 games. They lost to Iowa and Michigan State. They shouldn't have lost to either, but they were 11-2. But that
I
was the
thought we
moment
was
right there.
11. Yeah, 11 and yeah, I thought we was 11-1. Okay.
No, but that was that moment right there. That was like, man, I remember that moment. I was so happy. I didn't think Michigan would beat the Buckeyes for a while, but that's the year they had Luke Fickell. He was the interim coach, and I enjoyed that thoroughly, man. So yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I didn't want to pick one of the obvious ones, but I'll share it again. Was 1988 in the Horseshoe. Michigan comes back and wins the game 34-31. And in the last 2 plays of the game, Ohio State kicked the ball off. John Colasar returned it to midfield. And then the next play, offensive possession, I believe Harbaugh was a quarterback and threw a touchdown pass to Colasar. It was like 100 yards in 2 plays, and Michigan comes back. Losing the whole day, they start coming back. They come back and beat them in Ohio Stadium, and just a shock. I just kind of picked that one because there's so many ones I could go from Woodson and so forth. That one's kind of a unique one that I remember. I was just shocked they pulled that game out and won.
Okay, I'll take the 2022 game. Michigan hadn't won in the shoe since Drew Henson led them. That was my second year of grad school, and then plus JJ went on record after 2021 saying all we know is beating Ohio State. So I was like, man, don't say that. And then we were all wondering when the deep ball was going to come. And then, he hit that comeback route to Cornelius. Cornelius broke the tackle. Then he hit that deep ball to Cornelius. Then he hit that deep ball to Colston Loveland. And then in the second half, he ran the ball in the end zone. And then the two death blows by Donovan Edwards. And I was just sitting there in disbelief. Happy disbelief.
Yes. We need Bryce to do some of that on Saturday.
Yeah.
Some of JJ runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely. But y'all better drop down, y'all. I'm watching Stranger Things, man. I know I'm a geek, but it's all good. Appreciate y'all letting me
What
up.
is that about? CIA stuff?
Oh, you got to watch. It's about you. I'll talk to you about it, man. But anyway, y'all have a good night. God bless. Doc, appreciate you letting me up. Dom, always good.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, go blue, baby.
Hey, Marmar, Keegan, y'all got to give your favorite games. Then I got a tweet here from Johnny. Then I'll wrap up. Your favorite game?
I got 2. 97. Because Charles Woodson singularly handedly beat Ohio State by himself. And then 21, finally getting over the hump. Haskins singly, he singly beat Ohio State by himself. One player beat Ohio State by himself.
Yeah.
I watched that the other night. What a game.
Yeah. Keegan, you got one?
Yeah, man. I thought about this. I answered on Madman's show, I think it was, about the David Boston hit by Marcus Ray. I think the Khalil Mullings run last year when we didn't have a chance to win that game, and he just broke the tackle and all of a sudden just like took it for 20. I think that does it for me.
Okay. All right. A quick word from the great Johnny Olden Jr. Then I'll wind the stream down here. Let me see. Where is it?
Johnny's in Vegas.
Lucky I know, but I follow him on X. So Johnny quoted.
You ought to come out to San Diego and say hello. He's only 4 hours away.
So this guy here is interviewing Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, and they say nothing stands out to me personally about the game. And Johnny says, "I love the arrogance from 0-3 guys versus Michigan. JJ Smith barely did shit last year against Michigan." Passionate, just like Maniac.
Yes.
All right. You guys got anything else?
No, thanks for having me,
Marmar.
Doc.
Happy Thanksgiving, man, and
Happy
Happy Thanksgiving, Dom.
Thanksgiving.
I'll be
Marmar, where you
calling
sitting?
you
Where you
from.
sitting in the bowl? Where you sitting?
I'm sitting either in the booth with Dennis,
Oh, that's right. That's right. You'll be nice and
or
warm.
I'm gonna
Drinking
sit
hot
out,
cocoa.
or I'm gonna sit out there and enjoy the elements.
Hey, you know why that
I'm leaning
line in
more toward.
Vegas,
Go ahead.
Mark? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know why that line's coming down in Vegas, don't you? It's
No, I
because you're
didn't know
going to
that.
be at the game.
Oh,
It's because you're going to be at the game.
good
You're
luck
going to be
charm.
looking down at the field from that skybox. You're going to be looking down, and you're just going to be sending them waves down on Ohio State.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards going outside and sitting in the elements because I want to hear that. I want to hear that crowd.
Oh, you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
Marmar, go out for Mr. Brightside.
All right, I'll do that.
Hey, thanks for having me, Doc.
All right,
Love
Dom.
you
Thanks for coming
guys.
up.
Go
Happy
Blue.
Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
All right, God bless.
All right, Marmar. Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
All right, love,
Talk
brother.
after the game.
All right, God bless.
Peace.
Yep.
All right, everyone. That's all I've got. I'm gonna wrap the stream up. So yeah, Michigan right now, Ohio State is favored to win by 10 to 11 points. The margin seems to keep fluctuating. And I think J.R. Morris, thank you for this generous super chat. I appreciate the support, not just for the super chat, but also for my book. I'm not gonna do the plug tonight. But I appreciate this 1999 super chat. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Anwar, Doc, Mar, Steve, and Keegan." Appreciate this, J.R. Morris. Super chats, everybody, are always welcome. All right, yeah. So the margin keeps changing. It's going to be interesting. Either Ohio State's going to come out and deliver a death blow to Michigan early, or it's going to turn into a much longer game than Ohio State will want to play. So it's going to be I think the best analogy is a Tyson fight. They're either going to come out and knock us out early, or we're going to do a bit of an Evander Holyfield and wear them down and make it a game, make them play the entire 4 quarters, which is what I'm hoping. I think all the guys are hoping that's what we'll see. So, and apparently it's going to snow. My phone says here that, there's a 35% chance of snow in Ann Arbor on Saturday. So this should be pretty exciting. How's Julian Sand going to play in those conditions? I think Carnell Tate, I think his hamstring is hurt. Is he going to play? That's going to hamper. Wide receivers need their hamstrings to run down the field and make those cuts. Should be very, very interesting. Let's end with 2 drops here. Let's end with Brady once again, and then we'll end with Lou Holtz.
But I was not a fan of that university in Ohio because my buddies were, so I had to be different.
And then let's take something from the Lou Holtz collection here.
He has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice, and everybody that beats him does so because they're more physical than Ohio State. And I think Notre Dame will take that same approach.
And everybody who beats him because they're more physical than Ohio State. All right, one more from Lou.
You tell them they better bring their lunch because it's going to be a full damn day's work.
Hell yeah. I love that. Hey, hope you heard that, AJ.
Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching. I will be right back here Saturday afternoon or early evening after the game to talk about a Wolverines victory or a Wolverines loss. Hoping for the victory. I think I already said happy Thanksgiving. Go blue. As always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Who's got it better than us? If you're watching on the replay, if you're part of the replay gang, please let us know what you think there in the comments section. And if the hype feature is available for this on the playback, please hype the video, and that helps out with the channel. That helps the channel quite a bit. All right, everybody, go blue. Have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.